This video will show you how to cut D12 rear axle so we can use deep disc style wheels like this, or if we want to use a drag race style wheel. By the way, if you want to know how to lower the D12 like this, you can watch this in our other video. And a little update on the rear deck: if you want to lower it, you can cut it around like this, then add some bracket like this. Or you can 3D print the adjustable bracket like this. This is an example of lowered rear deck. For this video, I won't make the rear deck too low since I want to show off the rear wheels. Back to topic, if you want to cut the rear axle, then I suggest you to buy a WPL Metal Hex like this. It's not that expensive. And secondly, if you have a front axle of WPL off-road car, such as from C14, C24, C35, etc., you can use the front axle as a rear axle of D12, so we don't need to cut the D12 rear axle. What left to do is just to cut the axle housing. Just cut it according to the length of the axle. And after that, just install the metal hex, then reassemble the rear axle. However, in my case, it turned out that the front axle from WPL off-road car still not short enough, so I need to cut it more. Pay attention to the end of the axle. We need to make a flat part like this. This is for the bolt placement. This is how I made it. And this is the final result. And after that, install the metal hex. It comes with a tiny socket set screw like this. I replaced it using an M3 bolts with a length around 5mm, just because it is easier to remove later. Add a little of thread locker. Use the blue or softer thread locker. Don't use a red thread locker as it will be more difficult to remove later. If you don't have a thread locker, you can use hot glue gun, but it will not as strong as thread locker. Wait until the thread locker dry for a few hours before using the RC. If later you want to open the bolt that has been glued, you can heat it a little bit to soften it. That's why I prefer to use M3 bolt as it will be easier to open. And this is the width comparison of stock axle and the one that has been cut. If you notice, if we cut the axle, we can only use 2 plastic bearings near the gear. It concerns me at first, but I've tested and all works normally without a single problem. Of course, in long term, the stock condition might be better. The sole purpose of this modification is only for the look. Thanks for watching.